Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Starcraft 2 video. Today I've got an in-depth replay analysis for you. I played this game earlier today with the intention of doing a replay analysis for you. And in the load screen, I knew that I was playing against 2 Terran, and I knew that my teammate picked Zerg. And I ran him into Zerg here. So the first thing that's going through my mind here is that, okay, I need to set my Overlord in a position where I'm going to be able to sacrifice it later in the game to gain information. So I take this Overlord and I put it, I mean I click here, but I'm going to reposition it here later, right? So that's the first thing I need to do. The second thing is going through my mind is what build do I want to do here? And based off of what I see out of my opponent, or excuse me, not my opponent, but my teammate, will determine what type of a strategy I want to go for. When I play against 2 Terran, I 99% of the time will open with Hatchery first, unless the players are known for spamming lots of Reapers. If my opponents are known for spamming a lot of Reapers, then I will usually opt for some kind of a Speedling open, so that the Reaper snowball doesn't get, like, completely out of control, right? Which is very common in 2v2. Oftentimes you will see 2 Terran players go for 6 barracks worth of Reapers. So at this point, I'm looking at the minimap and I'm trying to see like when my teammate is going for his gas, and he went for a later gas, right? So the first thing that goes into my mind is that 9 times out of 10 when you see teammates go for one gas styles, it almost will never mean that they're going roaches, right? So when I scouted this expansion build, I thought, okay, there's a very good chance that the right side Terran player is going to be going for some kind of a factory open. They both could potentially be going for factory opens, right? So I'm thinking, I think I'm going to need to go roaches this game. So I see the first Reaper, I queue up 4 Zerglings. Fail my control really bad here. I've been messing around with my my MSI Afterburner, and I'm getting pretty bad performance sometimes. So I'll get some FPS drops and do a lot of misclicking and stuff like that. Still haven't got that overclocking right. In fact, I just got done recording this video and my computer crashed because the settings were wrong. But anyway, so I'd go for the Roachwarren here. Now I can see that my teammate's gone up to a 3rd base, right? And so from this point forward, well, my teammate is going to have a pretty useless army for a while. So I know that if the opponents go for an aggressive play here, we aren't going to have anything, my teammate's not going to have anything to help us out at all, right? So I opt for the roach play here, and I start queuing up 8 roaches. So at this point, based on what I've scouted, I can see that the Terran play on the right side has gone for factory, and more than likely, the Terran player on the left side is going to be going for bio. So I know that if I make this push, it's going to be efficient no matter what. And really, more than anything, like, I know that I'm not going to be able to win the game with this push, but I can see, just by looking at the minimap, that my teammate's not, like, he doesn't really understand the flow of 2v2 and like how it works and stuff like that. It looks to me like he's just using some kind of a 1v1 build. So I know that I have to take the initiative here if I want to have a decent chance at winning. And then by doing this, it'll put me ahead in economy of at least one of the players, which is what I really need in order to give myself a chance, right? So at this point I know that, you know, this isn't going to work out for me, so, you know, I make some drones and then I build a couple of more backup units just in case, you know, all of these roaches get wiped out and they decide to go for some kind of a counter push. I definitely want to have some units at the ready, but at the same time I also want to be building units, or I mean drones, to get an economic advantage over both of these players, right? So as you can see, I'm thinking ahead as far as I possibly can throughout the course of this game. And of course I can see that my teammate's teching right now, but I don't know exactly what it is. That's why I pan over into his base to see what he's going. And after I see the Hydra Den, I decide to go up to a lair and start going for a Mutilus composition. And the reason for this is because my teammate's Hydralisk play should, in theory, he should have had enough time to actually get enough units out to deal with whatever bio play that the left side Terran, the bottom left side Terran, could throw at us. Why? Because we delayed his economy so badly, and we killed a lot of his shit. So if I go for a Mutilus composition here, I'll be able to put a lot of pressure on the meching player, which is the player that we have not pressured, right? And that's just kind of the thought process of why I decide to go what I'm going here. Now, yeah, at this point, you know, I'm looking at the minimap and I can see that my teammate's third base is not really, there's not really a lot of saturation right there in his base, right? So I can already see that he's not a very good player. And just to put it out there, at the end of this game, he was actually platinum. So my suspicion of him not being a very good player was right. And so all of the decisions that I made at the start of this game is what has put us in the current situation. We have a lead, and that's what we need. That's what I need to be able to win this game. And so now I'm just waiting for Mutilus, my Spire to get done. And I'm building some roaches, and you can see that I was moving an Overlord over here, right? And because this is, and I'm moving it right here. You can see that this Terran player is going to bio, right? So there's going to be a lot of drop play. Yeah, I mean, if the Terran player plays bio, Terran player is going to drop, right? So you need to have Overlords in good spots so that you can spot this before it actually gets there and you lose all your drones, right? So that's like why I'm building some more roaches here. It's just, this is just drop defense, right? And I'm just constantly moving them back and forth between my two bases just to have them moving in case I'm not in position. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword with that theory, but sometimes it works. Just moving them around and being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes you get lucky. Now I see the sensor tower, and the first thing I think when I see the sensor tower on the minimap is that he's going mech. That's what I think. And so I immediately just send my Mutalisk over to the base here. And he's going for a Raven composition here. I snipe a bunch of Ravens. I basically lose my third here because I actually haven't watched this replay yet. I do not know what my teammate's doing. His entire army is inside of the Nidus network. And he's not even doing a Nidus play, so that's kind of strange. And this is essentially why I lost every one of my drones, although I could have, if I was faster, I could have pulled them and moved them over here. So it was kind of a noob mistake on my part. So they're pushing, I'm doing Vitalistic Harass across the map. My teammate finally unloads his army out. And then, you know, with these mutas, I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can. You know, I stop his third economy, which was really good because they stopped my third economy. And, you know, my teammate who really should be maxed out and have like a 2k bank is not really doing anything at all, right? So it looks like he finally makes the push, and he cleans that army up, which is good. Absolutely needed to happen. But the thing is here is that I lost my third and all of my drones, right? And it looks like if we look at the minimap, I can tell that this guy has a third base here because he has a supply depot here, right? Now, of course, it doesn't always mean there would be a third here, which there isn't. And so, but that was my thought process when I saw this, and that's why I thought that we needed to push, because I looked at this and there was a depot here, so I assumed that there was a third here. And on top of that, my mutalisks were in his base, and I scouted the fact that he was literally up to 5 command centers at this point, right? And after losing all of that economy, or all of my economy, I felt like we absolutely needed to push here. But, you know, games like this are pretty hard because like we can see my teammate has 112 supply. He's got 2,274 resources in the bank. Like, he's not injecting his hatcheries. This is just platinum level play, right? And this is a master. Well, I actually think that both of the players were Diamond 1. But, you know, like previous masters, like a lot of different times. Whereas my teammate, I think his highest career finish was like gold or something like that. So, you know, you can be the best player in the world. When you're in situations like this, the game is still going to be pretty hard. And then from this point forward, I know that I have to get up an air comp, but I have to resaturate my bases. Like, that's like of the utmost importance at this time of the game. Getting my economy back and doing this pressure here is allowing me to get my economy back. So as you can see, you know, I fully saturated this base and I'm on to my 4th base. And so I decided to transition into Ling or Zergling Baneling with upgrades here because my teammate is not building any AoE in any way, shape, or form, right? So if the Terran player on the left side of the map who's going bio goes uncontested with that, his units are just going to be a lot more efficient than what they really should be. So you need to get some kind of AoE, whether it be lurkers, fungal growth, or anything like that if you're going for the ranged composition. Like roaches and hydras and stuff like that, right? But I wanted to go up to broods and I wanted to be like as cost efficient as I could. So the decision to go into the Zergling Baneling composition was because that was my ultimate goal here. I needed to get Corruptor Broodlord if I wanted to have a chance to win, because I've been able to identify the fact that my teammate's just really not that good, right? So from this point forward, it's just kind of a turtley game, you know. Just trying to take out what we can, pick things off, and then ultimately get into that Broodlord composition. Like, if my teammate was better, we could have won this game in half the time. And of course, I'm getting salty at this point because I know for a fact that his bank is absolutely ridiculous, just based off of, you know, his army count. Like, I knew that his bank was just gonna be absolutely crazy. Like 5k, 2k, not even being maxed out. That's fucking noob shit, right? So I'm starting to get pretty salty because as the game goes on, like, I knew that there were so many command centers here, so all of this damage that we did, it would be different on a different map, but because securing additional bases is so easy on this map for Terran, he's gonna very easily be able to get his economy back up and, you know, start that composition back up again. That's really turtley and hard to kill. So I was starting to get a little irritated at the fact that, you know, we're so far into the game and my teammate has 5k, 2k in the bank and, you know, basically no army. But anyway, so I knew that I needed to get up to Broods if I really wanted to win this game. And I needed to have AoE, but I needed to do it in a way where I could get out as many Corruptors and Broods as I could, and the best way to do that is just go for a Zergling Baneling, because the Banelings are very cheap in terms of gas. And so I know that the Terran players, like, the reason I made that push is because I knew that the Terran player was massing Ravens. He wasn't going to have like a massive amount because his expansions had been delayed for so long. So while his mineral count might be okay, he's not going to have a very high gas count throughout the course of the game. So that's why I knew I could just be really greedy there and attack all of the Ravens. And then from this point forward, after, you know, all the things that I've seen, I know that all I have to do at this point is just get my Broods up and the game will be over. Here comes the push. And it's over. Nothing they can do. GG. So I hope you guys like this in-depth replay analysis. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys with the next video. Have a good day, and peace out.